I'm willing to bet that 99% of people have no idea what FEMA, the White House, and the SEC are really planning to do on October 4th. And what's even more interesting is what's planned for later on in the month of October that most people or almost no one's actually talking about. Now, while the news regarding the Lahaina wildfire seems to be dying down at this point, or possibly even being suppressed for any number of reasons, I figured I would address the many questions that I've been receiving from you guys, since so many people seem to be worried about what's happening on October 4th, right? They've already got cameras and microphones all around us, and there's nothing that you can really do to stop them. You know, y'all ever get the Amber Alerts on your phones that are just so loud that you can't even turn them off? Now, with this test, I've heard that they can hit anything that is considered a smart device. Any phone, whether it's an iPhone 15 Pro Max, a Samsung S24 Ultra, any TV, I guess maybe even some refrigerators, washing machines, dryers, dishwashers, and even smart stoves. Doesn't matter what your settings are, they will be overridden. I've heard so many theories, like the one about the green light test, similar to what was observed in Maui.
If you happen to see green lasers in the sky, not to worry, it's the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers conducting coastal surveys. And they're being done using a contracted aircraft equipped with a light detection and ranging system. The lasers are used to measure distance. Residents near Oahu south-facing shores between Barbers Point and Diamond Head might see those broad beams of green light across the night sky.
You know how it is in this digital age, guys. Sometimes just weird stuff just pops up out of the blue. Now, before we dive into the rabbit hole of October 4th and all the other happenings that we need to prepare for later in October, just a quick shout out to our community. Whether you're a familiar face or a new friend, our corner of the internet is all about sharing our thoughts. So, you know, if you haven't already, drop a quick like for the video and also make sure to hit that notification bell. So October 4th, it seems to have the power to reach into our smart devices, our phones, our TVs, iPads. Really doesn't matter what settings you've set it up with. It can slip through. Very similar, if not the same kind of technology used to alert the residents of Lahaina, Maui, provided by FEMA of the impending dangers of the wildfires.
So in the state of Hawaii, we have a statewide alert and warning system, which we also call SAWS. That involves not only the siren warning system, but as well as IPAWS. IPAWS is the Integrated Public Alerts and Warning System provided by FEMA, and that has the Emergency Alert System, also known as EAS. It also has the Wireless Emergency Alerts, which is known as WEA. We also use sirens for hurricanes, brush fires, flooding, lava, hazmat conditions, or even a terrorist event. We have over 400 sirens spread out through 4 counties.
Isn't it disturbing just how much access and power that they have through the smartphones in our pockets? You are aware that they're always listening to us, right? Like, they can turn on any one of these microphones and cameras conveniently mounted on our phones. So FEMA will be conducting a nationwide test of its emergency alert system, the EAS, and the wireless emergency alert, the WEA, on Wednesday, October 4th at approximately 10:20 a.m. And this is in hopes of preventing another scene like this.
We busted our ass, and this is what we get. Nobody called us. Our phones didn't work from 5 in the morning. The fire was not 10 o'clock when I went to work. The fire was still there. There was no water. Tell me if that's coincidence. No water, no warning. And everybody talking about the satellite city before the fire. Lahaina going to be the first satellite city. Well, hey, Jeff Bezos, you got what you wanted. Oprah, you got what you wanted. And the guy who owns the nut, you got what you wanted.
But what's even more unsettling is the growing distrust in leadership. But this is exactly what they don't want you to see.
Do you regret not sounding the sirens?
I do not. And the reason why...
So many people said they could have been saved if they had time to escape. Had a siren gone off, they would have known that there was a crisis emerging. And as we know, so many bodies were found in the ground as the flames caught their heels.
Give you the answer? The sirens, as I mentioned earlier, is used primarily for tsunamis. And that's the reason why many of them are found, almost all of them are found, on the coastline. The public is trained to seek higher ground in the event that the siren is sounded. Had we sounded the siren that night, we're afraid that people would have gone Malka. And if that was the case, then they would have gone into the fire. By the way, I should also note that there are no sirens Malka or on the mountainside. where the fire was spreading down. So even if we sounded the siren, it would not have saved those people on the mountainside.
Policies, decisions, it all seems like a fog of uncertainty that's just hanging over our economy and our people. But the FEMA test is not all that will be happening in October. You know, these days it definitely feels like there's always something new that's happening, especially in the world of contracts and deals. Have you heard about what else is happening in October? So a lot of people are concerned about the big plans that are expected to take place in October. One thing that's got everybody talking is a contract that's set to kick off in October 2023 and wrap up in May of 2024. Now, this has been buzzing in the news and among people, so let's go ahead and dive in real quick and take a closer look at exactly what's going on behind the scenes. You know, staying informed is more critical now than ever. One of the early signs that's gotten people's attention was the circulation of memos in various workplaces. Now, these memos, they were all about employees wearing masks because some of their colleagues got sick. Now, on the surface, it sounds like a smart move, right? But there's a twist to the story, and this is something we need to explore a little bit. So those memos, they weren't just about any old masks. They specified medical grade face coverings like surgical masks, KN95 or N95 to be worn indoors. There were exceptions though, like, you know, when you're alone in your office drinking or eating at your desk, or if you're the only one in a big open workspace. But the devil is always in the details, as they say. But hold on, the contract's reach doesn't stop at the workplaces. It's made its way into our educational institutions too. Take Rutgers University, for example, right? They made headlines for saying that they would kick out students who didn't follow certain mandates by August 15th. Now, that's a bold move that's got a lot of people talking. Is it a matter of public health, or does it go beyond that? And it's not just Rutgers. Nearly 100 other universities and four-year colleges are sticking to those mandates, no matter what's happening locally. Now, that really makes you wonder if there's really a bigger agenda in play here. Our healthcare system isn't untouched by these contracts either. Healthcare providers, the ones that we trust with our health, they have also jumped on this mandate bandwagon. Kaiser Permanente, a major primary care provider, has made it mandatory for their staff, their patients, and even visitors to wear face masks in their Santa Rosa facilities. Now, on the other side of the country, Upstate Medical's two hospitals in New York decided to bring back mandatory masking. They cited an increase in cases as the reason, but we got to ask ourselves, are these actions purely being driven by, the concern of public health, or could there be some other factors at play? Like maybe financial incentives or external pressures. Now, speaking of numbers, let's talk about the reported increase in infections. Now, according to the CDC, hospitalizations have been on the rise lately. So, for example, in just a few weeks, hospital admissions doubled from the end of June to mid-August. But here's the catch, guys. Some seemingly minor illnesses like common cold or strep throat, they're now being counted as part of this new issue. Now, this makes us wonder if the numbers are actually being played with just a little bit to justify taking more extreme measures. Are we getting the whole story, or is there something more complex at play here? All right, so let's go ahead and shift gears just a little bit and let's talk about the government contracts and preparedness, right? So the government has been making some major significant moves in this area. They've been placing some hefty orders on testing equipment, guys. Take the Department of Defense, for example. They've awarded $1.5 million in contracts to a company called Holgix Sales and Service for testing. Guess when it starts? October and ending in May 2024. So the Department of Veteran Affairs, also known as the VA, has hopped on this contract train. They secured a $2 million deal with Abbott Molecular Incorporation and another $1.3 million contract for testing, which is set to kick off September 22nd. But wait, guys, there's more. The Biden administration isn't sitting idle either. Back in April, they announced a whopping $5 billion investment in developing treatments for this issue. Now, preparedness is critical, no doubt about it. But these huge investments make you wonder if they knew something we didn't. Now, last time some people didn't pay attention. Hopefully we pay attention now. Now, that was the news portion of today's video, but it has become very clear that we live in a world that's increasingly concerned with the environmental impact of traditional energy sources. The spotlight has never shone so brightly on clean and renewable energy. Now, as the global crisis looms and our planet cries out for sustainable solutions, I would like to thank Solar Bank Corporation for sponsoring today's video and for stepping into the limelight with the promise of a cleaner, greener future. Investors, take note of the ticker on your screen right now. Ticker symbol SUNN on the CSE exchange and ticker symbol SUNF on the OTCQX exchange. The call for clean energy solutions has never ever been louder. With each passing day, we witness the detrimental effects of our reliance on fossil fuels, from rising greenhouse gas emissions to the depletion of finite resources. Now, fortunately, the energy landscape is evolving rapidly, and renewables like solar and wind, they're leading the charge. Over the past decade, the cost of solar and battery energy storage has plummeted to a staggering 85%. This impressive reduction in cost has made clean energy sources not only environmentally friendly, but it's also economically competitive. It's no surprise then that the North American solar PV market, valued at $25.02 billion in 2019, is projected to reach an astonishing $120.74 billion by 2027, with a projected annualized growth rate of 21.7%. Now, amidst this transformative energy landscape, SolarBank Corporation has emerged as a beacon of hope and of innovation. Recognizing the pressing need for comprehensive renewable energy solutions, SolarBank Corporation has positioned itself as a trusted industry leader in Canada and the United States. SolarBank Corporation boasts an executive management team with over 100 years of combined experience, providing their expertise needed in order to navigate this complex clean energy sector. Their commitment to a sustainable future is backed by a very well-defined financial vision. Now, what really sets SolarBank Corporation apart is its holistic approach to clean and renewable energy. From site origination and development to financing, engineering, procurement, construction, operations, and asset management, SolarBank Corporation covers the entire value chain. Their diverse clientele includes commercial and industrial corporations, institutions, community solar subscribers, municipalities, and even electric utilities. SolarBank Corporation specializes in grid-connected solar photovoltaic electricity generation plants, making them a very key player in the transition to cleaner and more sustainable power sources. SolarBank's extensive range of services ensures that every aspect of a project is handled with precision and care. Now, as of the latest reports, the average SUNN analyst price target for SolarBank stock stands at $14.60, reflecting a 79.14% upside potential, guys. This speaks volumes about the market's confidence in SolarBank Corporation's future prospects.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Dr. Richard Liu. He is the CEO of SolarBank Corporation. And Dr. Liu, great to see you. How are you?
It was so happy to be here, Steve, and thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, excited to learn a bit more about the company and yourself. And let's start with the company. Tell me about SolarBank. You've got a pretty interesting company you're running.
Thank you, Steve. So SolarBank actually is in business for more than 10 years. It's an Ontario-based company. We started the business from the Ontario's Green Energy Act. At that time, we were focused on small fit-in tariff projects that are selling the power to the Ontario grid. And, with the support from the financial market, from our good property owners, we were able to take on a large portion of the market share. And then from there, we expanded into the States. So today we are in Maryland, in New York, especially in New York. We are a leading player in the community solar projects, upstate New York. And, with the going public, now we are further expanding our business in the rest of the states and also looking at Europe and other markets.
Recent developments such as SolarBank's lease on a 7-megawatt ground mount site in upstate New York demonstrates their commitment to expanding their footprint in the United States. With over 250 megawatts of solar projects in New York and Maryland, SolarBank Corporation is well poised to seize the emerging opportunities in the American solar market. In Canada, SolarBank Corporation has made significant strides in participating in the Ontario Independent Electricity System Operators feed-in tariff program. Their contribution to solar photovoltaic system development, it aligns perfectly with the goals of forward-thinking Canadian companies that are committed to achieving net zero carbon emissions. And SolarBank is not content with its current successes. They are actively participating in the IESO's first long-term request for proposals, aiming to contribute 4,000 megawatts of year-round effective electricity capacity through dispatchable new build resources like battery energy storage systems. Furthermore, SolarBank's foray into the electric vehicle charger market as a service provider shows their dedication to the electrified future of transportation. With that being said, SolarBank is shining a light on the path toward a cleaner, more sustainable future. Their dedication to providing comprehensive clean energy solutions, coupled with their impressive growth and diversification, it makes them a beacon of hope in a world seeking alternatives for fossil fuels. And as we collectively navigate this energy transition, SolarBank is well positioned to lead the charge toward a greener tomorrow. So I'll be sure to leave a link to SolarBank's website in the description down below. Smart investors believe that SolarBank Corp is worth looking into.